I don't know why clap. It's not like there's multiple things there, but whatever. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the second episode of the season 2 of APC Speaks' podcast. This is, as you all know by now, if you watched the first episode, it's the revamped version of the podcast, and I'm hoping that obviously the podcast would be a lot more fruitful in some way, and hopefully I can do this a lot more often. Hopefully every week now. And so to everyone else, well, once again, hello, welcome back. And to everyone else who may not know me, I am once again Allen Purto, the current Prime Minister of APC Speaks. And with me today are students, well, technically students, and they're both former members of APC Speaks that are now back, technically. They're now back in the organization because yours truly became the prime minister. So yeah. So with me today are Franz and Hans. Hans.
Franz, why did you switch sides?
No, look, I still have to. See, I'm still with you.
Yeah. So there you go. Today we're gonna be talking about. Well, as the topic, as the title rather of the video is 2021. How was it for you? And so yeah. So, with that, how are you guys? So let's start off with how you guys are.
Betrayed.
You feel betrayed?
Yeah.
Why?
This guy was supposed to be wearing blue.
Wait lang.
I thought.
Wait, you're wearing
you
red.
had the same hat.
What do you mean? You have that.
I'm wearing red.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there.
Okay.
How are you guys? Let's start off with just like how you guys are as of the moment. You know, because we just finished having training.
Yeah.
So obviously that's when we're recording this. We're not recording this at the day of when it comes out, obviously. We just finished the weekly training. The last training for the year, actually. So, how are you guys?
Yeah, actually. I was surprised, but not really surprised.
With?
Like I was expecting to at least maybe have a meeting for next week. You know, just to commemorate like the holidays or something.
It's the actual Christmas, sir.
Christmas,
It's 25 on Saturday. What do you mean?
I didn't know.
To be fair,
But yeah,
I would have held training if it was like 23.
I mean, I
would've.
already I know like suggested. What if we make a Christmas party for Crab Game? This is not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah.
Imagine. No. We have different sponsors, but you know, just moving on. I mean,
Yeah,
hey, if you
like-
want to sponsor us, I don't know how, but
I mean,
if someone sees this and you want to sponsor us, you know, hit me up.
I mean, like for me and Hans, like we've been playing Crab Game a lot, so that's why I got the idea. Like, you know what? This is too chaotic. I like it. This
Yeah,
would
we
be
actually
something
stopped,
for.
but
We might, well, if we're gonna hold the Christmas party for Speaks, we're probably gonna do it like 23, maybe, if ever.
23 or
We're not gonna
Well-
do it on the day itself. We're not doing that. Everyone
of
has.
course.
People have families, alright?
Of course. I
Majority of people have families. We're not.
I don't have a family.
Hey, it doesn't matter. We're strong because we
Oh.
have family.
And we're strong. We have family. I have friends. That's enough. Oh.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, like the whole week.
Yeah.
And weekends, I just hang out, reconnect with old friends, which is good.
That's all.
And then basically, like recently, Hans started playing because of freaking Crab Game.
It's annoying.
I mean, like our friend Carl like suggested him like come play Crab Game, and he was like skeptical about because I know Hans like he hasn't been playing for 2 years, I believe, right? 2 years.
Yeah, I haven't been playing anything for like 2 years, and they started pulling me back into it. And yeah,
And then I'll look at him now. He's happy.
League of Legends, my
Kinda
favorite.
happy.
I could have been happy, but then I chose League of Legends.
I'm gonna thank Riot for making my favorite game.
Thank you, Riot,
Um,
for making me meet these wonderful people.
I'm sorry, kanina pa. My dog keeps on bothering me. Like, look at her.
Okay, so but then like so
Okay, so-
my brain lag. Okay, so
I kind of felt that lag to eh. Like,
all right. There was a glitch in the matrix. I felt it, guys. I felt it. No, but then like so 2021 has been in some way in some way, he says, difficult for people, right? Obviously, like we're still currently in the middle of a pandemic, and that is very much true for the entire world. Majority of the entire world. You used to change your background again. Majority of the entire world, but the pandemic is there, right? And so, 2021 was like what, phase 2, I would say, of like, well, second year of the pandemic itself, and we're still going at it. But obviously by now, people have adjusted in some way. They know how to somewhat live their life, or they know how to get through their day to day, despite the said pandemic. So how has 2021 been for you guys? Because like obviously for everyone else, it's been difficult, especially like school and stuff like that, or people who are working, or students and like work people who students who also work and stuff like that. But for you guys specifically, how has 2021 been?
who goes first? Me or you?
Ladies first.
Okay.
Joke
So
lang.
basically, so yeah, I mean, like, rather than just having more time to do your stuff. For me, like, I had more time to do my artworks, like painting and such. And kid you not, like from the span of 1 year, I improved a lot. Like commonly when I make artworks in a year, it just maximum of 4, but now I accumulated like 15.
Yeah,
It's
Good.
good.
he was on a grind.
That's
But
like
then-
nearly like a square root of it, but go on.
But then, like, what I just noticed, just other than just having fun and then maybe reconnecting with people, and also it also has like those, certain, like, I don't know if it's the right word, like mental stuff. Like, you start to think a lot.
Yeah.
But, due to thinking a lot, it helps me think critically about what's happening right now, since I'm more close and I'm not affected with people around me. I can do my my own research about what's happening around me in my own comfort zone, without having like the tension of, like, people are watching you. If you don't confirm, either they might hurt you or they might judge you. Like, you just can feel like that goosebump behind you.
Yeah.
Something like that.
There's no pressure.
I mean, it's unavoidable since I'm still using Facebook. I'm still getting affected by certain informations by people. But then, because of me absorbing all of these things, and then I have my own. Like, I have this saying, like, if you have like that certain amount of pain, you're able to distinguish what the things that are valuable and that the things that are not.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm able to, like, manifest.
manifest.
Faced. Like, pinagalo ko like manifest and face.
Yeah.
So, I was able to manifest the pain.
Yeah.
Like
Manifest the pain.
Manifest the pain.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
mean, like, the pain. The pain.
You mean you
It's
got to
not that
understand the
complicated.
pain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Manifest the pain.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to manifest that.
I don't know, it kind of sounds right, like to manifest the
Shouldn't
pain.
be. Yeah, but then you got to understand the pain. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, like, we all of us are like encountering like certain stuffs right now.
Yeah.
Personal issues and such. And then, I don't just want to sit around. I mean, it's good to at least sit, take a break, or, do your time. You don't have to rush. But then when I have the strength to at least, try to do something about it, like my issues and stuff, I try to use it to something positive. Maybe use it as a catalyst for improvement, a catalyst for me to see things that I haven't seen before. Like right now, I'm deducing friends. I mean, it's not a bad
Exactly
thing.
same.
It's not. It's not. It's really not.
It's not a bad thing.
It's actually a good
Because,
thing.
like,
to do.
like during the pandemic, a lot of things that's been happening lately.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, like to everyone, people are starting to become more wise. Is that the right word? More wise.
Yeah, more or
And
less.
then just
Yeah, me and this guy,
yeah.
reconnected.
Uh-huh.
we we have actually collaborated on a lot of things. Like, I asked him to make cover arts for like 2 releases.
I was so dumbfounded by that. By the way, I did not realize that was you. For the longest time, I was like, Franz was like, I'm working on like on like a cover art for a friend, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, sure. And then I saw it up here. I was like, all right, cool. I just never sunk in. And then I saw your artist name in Facebook, and I'm just like, wait, what the what? And then so when I saw you ping in the server, I was just like, oh,
I actually
God.
give him the screenshot of your reaction, like on chat, like.
What?
To be honest, like I want to say
Nice.
something because like when you sent that chat to me, like I was like, what?
What?
I thought you knew.
No, I did not at all. So and then obviously when I went to check on Spotify, that's when obviously it appeared. Oh yeah, speaking
Yeah.
of that, I'm going to drop both of their artist whatever in the description. So there's that. All right, so yeah.
Any
there-
picks for the link, friends? Or no?
What?
I mean, he has the links right now.
Yeah, because usually, like, for creatives like me or friends or anyone's dealing with that, we usually have like a unified link where you just post one link and
Oh yeah, and everything's there. Yeah.
I think we should do that.
I agree. Well, if you don't, I normally just do it one by one. Anyways, like I put
Yeah.
like Twitter and then bam and then bam. Yeah, so it's like if they want to just go to your Instagram and go straight to Instagram, something like that. But then like based on what Franz was basically saying is it's time, right? So for him it was having time for oneself, and I've talked about this. I don't think I've talked about it in the podcast actually, but I've mentioned before how I hope that people. I mentioned somewhere else, but it's give yourself the privilege to have the time for yourself. Give yourself the privilege of time, basically, because the pandemic is messy as it is. There's a lot of things going on, but truth of the matter, we have more time than ever. And it really goes down to what you choose to do with the time that you have and the time that you receive, because we're stuck at home, and as much as it feels like there's so much going on and it feels like nothing is moving, or things are moving too fast. Truth of the matter, it's really just feels like it's because you feel clouded with a chance of meatballs. No, you feel you feel clouded with everything that's happening, and it becomes heavy. So being able to take a step back, and just see things from like a different perspective helps, because you actually get to see that you have more time now than ever, because you don't go out as much. There's more time of just alone with yourself, and I do genuinely hope that everyone has that place to be at home. If not, then I hope that you guys can develop one for yourself, because I am aware of the fact that not everyone has that. We are privileged to have that, a place in our own house where we could be alone and just think for ourselves. Some people don't have that, so there you go. I hope you guys
But kind
find
of
that
like
for yourself.
right now, like I'm thinking like before like first year of the pandemic, everything felt so weird, and like you just can't accept. But right now, it's starting to sink in, like just a usual Friday or something, like that kind of thing.
It's like in a superhero movie. It's just a normal Tuesday at this point, Just
But I'm just starting to say like, is this a bad thing? Like for me, like to feel like it's normal right now, because like I can recall like last year, I have like lots of things in my head. Like I'm saying like, this shouldn't be it. Okay, something felt.
Yeah,
And
it
then, like-
feels like kind of at first you think it's like an extended break or something like that. Like it's just gonna last 2 weeks, right? But,
Yeah. That's what everyone was told. I honestly, when the government was like, "We're just gonna have a 2 weeks break," I was like, "Nope, things are about to go down, boys. Things are about to go down. It's a lie. It's a lie." But yeah.
Yeah, I
Well, it's
just
not
feel
like
like it's wrong.
it's not like it's wrong, man. Because it's like part of human history, even up to now. Obviously, as you can, if you let me rephrase that. If you go back through human history, humans have just not necessarily evolved, but we adapt. That's what humanity is. We adapt and we overcome. That's the reason why we are where we are right now with the things that we have. Um, I mean, obviously there are things that shouldn't feel normal. There's still a lot of those, and we're not gonna talk about every single one of them because that's gonna be a really long discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, especially with how the pandemic is, it's literally just us learning how to adapt to things and overcome them and be able to just continue on with their lives and make sure that humanity does not get extinguished by this fire that we have globally, obviously. So yeah, there. So you, Hans.
Hmm?
How's
Oh
2021?
yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah. First off, it's this thing is not exactly for like 2021, but
Ah.
it started like almost the end of 2020.
Yeah.
For the entirety of 2020, I was trying to just reconnect with everyone that my friends, and my best friend, he he actually just tried to pull me into this, but seeing that he's so passionate about it, I tried it out for myself, and it was actually fun, and it's boxing. He just threw me his gloves when I was staying at his place, and he was like, "Yeah, throw punches." And
I
for
know
like
the story.
one whole minute, yeah, for like one whole minute, it felt like an hour, and he wasn't even punching me. He was After that 1 minute, I was so gassed out, and it felt so new and like exciting for me. So yeah, I did that for a couple of months up until like another hard lockdown was slapped into our face around summer or something. Yeah, so I stopped there. So yeah, I had to stop there. But yeah, a lot of things actually happened, even if it's just 1 year. Like before, right? Pre-pandemic, you'd think a year would just go by super fast, but this one, it was different. After I finished a term, I kind of dropped out of that because I really didn't like my course. That was one thing I kept on repeating. I didn't like my course. I'm getting the hell out of there. So as soon as I got out of there, for some reason I had the idea of like applying for a job or something, and for some reason it was so specific that I applied for like two. I applied for like two positions, and I got one as soon as possible for some reason. So I think that was destined, and I'm still working, but yeah, it was fun. Despite everything, it was still fun. I tried to make it fun. It, you could. It's just like what Alan said. You could like stop and think about everything, or you could like look at it at a different perspective, and that's what I did. Try to make the best out of it. Meanwhile, I was working on my my production, trying to learn more in music. Me and Franz, we connected at the same time because we had the same grind set in our personal creative stuff. So Franz was like, "Yeah, I'm doing this a lot of stuff," and I'm like, "Okay, I need to match his pace." So yeah, it was at that time that I was like trying a lot of different music genres, and I connected with Franz because I was like, "Franz, I need to actually release this. I haven't done this before." So like, yeah, make me cover arts, that kind of stuff. But like the latter half of this year, I'm just resting and learning, mostly learning. That's why I haven't done any much in that case in like the music thing. But yeah, basically
I
that's
feel
it.
what I like me and Hans were in those like a couple of months, but right now like this December we're just chilling out.
Yeah.
We were like doing mostly productive stuffs. I mean, I have
Yeah.
my gameplays and such, but I can see like Hans is so primarily focused about his production and then doing some adult stuff like being not actually saying being responsible
Out of
because
context,
that's like that's a different context. No, I mean like
Out of
when it comes to
context?
money wise, like
No, no, no.
like like he's getting a job or something.
Oh,
I don't know how to properly convey that. Like being responsible is a bit hard.
Yeah, a joke I think they correct me a couple of times before was like, you seem so mature, but at the same time you're so, because I was like, when I hang out with them, I'm usually the most monkey one.
Yeah.
I'm literally the one that's acting so childish and like screaming that
And
kind of stuff.
like last time when we were in school, like I always thought like what's the monkey one? And then okay.
It's actually all of us.
I still have the picture by the way, like you, Aki and me.
Yeah,
You guys were carrying me during the
people being
time.
children as always.
Like that's
Uh,
how I like figured like you guys
Yeah.
just seem monkey and then you're just the one who's being so passive about it.
It's
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I mean based on what you guys are saying, one of the biggest things that the pandemic really, like it brought upon us was the force of change. You talked about like Franz talked about things being a catalyst and stuff like that for him. But the pandemic itself, the way I viewed the pandemic and the way that I understand the situation is, I'm gonna get so much fire for this, but I see that I see that COVID is never gonna go away. I see COVID as it's going to be a common flu. If you guys trace back how the flu was years and years ago, the common flu killed so many people too, and no one knew how to stop it. With how how I just realized we could get flagged for this because I said the word the pandemics. Oh my god. VidCon 19, right? So like I'm gonna call it VidCon 19 because like I don't know if YouTube's still okay
I
with
could cut
the actual name.
this entire thing out.
Yeah. No, it's just I have to just like make sure I remove that when I said it. But yeah, VidCon 19. It has so much variations now for some reason. It just keeps evolving over time, and that's kind of what the common flu was for us. For humanity before, no one really knew how to stop it until we finally found an actual vaccine for it and everything like that. So sad to say, I'm just speaking from historic point of view. I feel like with how things are, VidCon 19 is just going to stay. It's not gonna really go away. Just like every other problem we've had in the past, it's just humanity itself is just going to adapt and overcome it.
Yeah.
It's
You
I
know, we still have
see.
flu, right?
Yeah, we still have the flu too. So, but then like everyone's now just strong enough to be able to handle it, right? It's just going to be the same thing. Where I see it as a passing by thing. Where, sorry, I just realized that the word snack is on like Francis like
Yeah.
background. It's a
So
snack.
Really?
sorry, I got
Oh!
distracted. But yeah, no. It's just going to exist with us here, and we're just gonna get strong enough to overcome it. I'm not being pessimistic. It's just that's actually me being hopeful for humanity, because that's how things have been for us in the history, and that's how we've always overcome it. Sad to say, but in connection to being able to adapt and overcome, that's how both of you guys are, right? That's how how Franz now suddenly makes a lot more artworks than he ever did. And then there's Hans who, well, as we can hear, it's been a life-changing kind of course of flow through since 2020 to now 2021, right? And being able to, I think what you guys was trying to say, I think the term of Franz was trying to say is adulting. he was growing to adulthood.
Responsible.
he's
Good job, friends.
yeah. He's maturing, and I think that for me, what the pandemic has been, what VidCon 19 was able to bring up about for us is just a catalyst. I genuinely just see VidCon as a catalyst. That's what I see it as. Because like look around and look at what like we have now. Like, because now we have a new normal, right? New normal doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna get something new. It doesn't necessarily, what no, new normal doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to go back to how things are in just a new perspective. It's new normal is just a completely new way of being able to do things. I think I just said the exact same thing, but got confusing. But bear with me. So it's the new normal is basically us doing things differently. Obviously, for example, we had Shopee, we have Lazada, like way before, right? Prior pandemic, but it's a lot more like how to say this? It's a lot more what's the word I'm trying to go for? It's a lot more apparent now. Apparent's not the right word, but you get the point. It's
Relevant. Yeah, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. It's a lot more like focused on now. I'm still not getting the term I'm supposed to go for, but yeah, it's and it was bound to happen. We're moving at such a technological stage and technological forefront that it was bound to happen. The pandemic and what VidCon has basically been able to give us was just a catalyst. It just became like a time skip kind of feeling. Instead of having it done after 5 years, it did it in a year. And I think that's what a lot of the things are right now. And I mean, based on like also with like the vaccine thing and everything, and being able to combat the virus, it takes 5 years scientifically to create a fully not fully functional, but like 100% vaccine. It takes 5 years normally, and we're on our second year, about to enter our third. So there's roughly still 3 years to go, buds. But I mean, hopefully with the current sciences that we have, we get to develop it faster. But historically, it takes 5 years to make 100% vaccine. Burden me if you will in the stakes, but I have to say it. No one else is gonna say it. The current vaccine is not,
Fully effective.
it's not fully effective. That's the reason why people say that you have to go back for after 6 months to get another shot.
Yeah,
if
like
anything-
get your
Boosters
boosters.
or
Yeah, that's why you have
Yeah.
booster shots and stuff like that. It's
Even with
not.
that, like consider like taking a different vaccine because like he got COVID again.
Yeah, it's how do you say it? It's
still
it's
adapting
like
at a
we're
very,
basically
very
in alpha
fast
testing. We're alpha testing the vaccine as of the current moments, right? So we're going to hopefully sciences.
Edit that part what I said.
What?
Edit that part that what I said. Like we should be like saying like VidCon, right?
Yeah.
VidCon. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a part.
I'll figure about it. I'll figure it out. But then yeah, it's we're gonna be able to hopefully humanity goes through this and stuff like that. And I think, I mean, for you guys as well, and I guess I'm speaking for myself, and to the rest of the viewers, adapting, I guess, is the lesson that we have here today. It's giving yourself give yourself the opportunity and the chance to be able to actually let yourself like take the time. A lot like it's very apparent that people are not going to be able to do that normally, because everyone's been too focused with how fast the world works and trying to keep up with just how things change. It's like, people live for that day only. But I hope that just like what Franz and Hans have done, you guys give yourself the time and give yourself the privilege of being able to explore things for yourself and figure out for yourself what you want to do. Because well, we're gonna be transitioning, I'm pretty sure, after this entire pandemic is over, we're gonna be transitioning to something new, and I hope that everyone can transition to what they want to do when that happens. Because
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
just like what you said, right?
yeah,
It's a catalyst, and it's very evident with like the the work, any kind of industry in the
Yep.
sense like they were
Definitely.
just waiting for it because every other like not everyone. It's like some of them are like prepared for remote work, like
Yeah.
having people like work from home, right? Because like we've adapted so much that technology is like so efficient that
Yeah.
you don't need office space, and this was like the catalyst that they were like waiting for.
Sadly, yeah. I mean, some people have taken that into account. If people were to go back through past CEO interviews and stuff like that, this was somewhat along the lines already of being predicted. At some because like if you guys go back through history, there's always every century there's a 5 year gap, like 5 years that something happens with humanity, and it's kind of like a why do they say temporal reset? Whatever. It's like a temporal reset for how the economy works and stuff like that. This is
Or like a
getting
cycle, right?
yeah, it's like a breaking the cycle kind of situation. This is getting really deep in terms of economics, but the point is, it's a temporal reset that everyone has a chance to make a name for themselves and to change the course of how their life works. Because like some people who didn't get to adapt loses their jobs, but everyone else who gets to adapt and be able to move forward into the future, just like what you two have done, will boost you guys further. Because who knows, maybe after the pandemic thing ends and settles down, or even during in the middle of it, maybe France gets scouted, you both get scouted, you guys get to do what you do now.
Actually got scouted.
See, it becomes something, and that's I think that's the reason, like that's the thing I'm hoping that everyone will be able to do, is that you give yourself the time for this transition to be able to actually work or do what you want to do, and start, or at least start doing what you want to do, and give yourself that time, because we're now at the best time than ever to actually work on what we want to do, because again we have more time than ever. So yeah, do you guys have any ending speeches or ending words for the viewers?
Well, like
Actually,
just like what Alan said, it's like trying to make the best out of it, right? It's
yeah.
like you can stay and like try to not wallow, or it's just like trying to think about pre-pandemic basically. Like you can either get stuck there, or just like what we've been saying since the start of this podcast is try to adapt.
Yeah.
I mean, like, to be honest, like, people would take it to a different account to what we're saying. I
Obviously.
mean, there are people that are pessimistic, of course.
Definitely.
Even I,
I'm
of
ready
course,
for it.
pessimistic. I'm always pessimistic.
I'm ready
but
for the
also,
war.
also, like, give that grain of salt. Like, you know what? I have to suck it up somehow.
Mhm.
So as much as possible, I keep on saying this, like, I care more about myself, about my well-being. But then, I just can't help but help my friends out, because I don't want them to be felt left out. So as much as possible, even though I don't ask what's happening with them, as long as I'm able to at least talk to them, just to make them feel like they're not alone. Like Discord, for example. I know people are doing their stuff. They're happy. Some people would try to facade in a way, like, they're having fun or something, and then like deep within they would say like, dude, actually blah blah blah. I wouldn't want it to say like they're facading themselves, because I always believe like they're fun. They're fun to be with. They're good at making jokes, making people feel good. People would say like, no, we're just facading this because we don't want people to know what we're experiencing right now. Because like, how would you try? Why would you say like you're faking it? Because like it feels like it's something just comes out from you, right? That's what I believe with people. Like, people don't have to beat themselves up so much, because I know like a lot of things are happening right now, and they still can't accept what's happening. As much as possible, like all my pessimistic friends, I'm pessimistic with them too, but at the end of the day, we get to hang out, and that's what matters.
So I guess with that, it's just it's a mental state of mind.
Yeah.
Mental state of mind, obviously. It's a state of mind. It's a state of mind. I've talked about this. I'm gonna wrap this up, but I've talked about this in the training a while ago, when I said that the way that you declare yourself and the way that you say things decides the forefront of your actions. It decides how your brain thinks, even. So like you keep saying that you're just you keep saying that you're being pessimistic or it's a facade. Why does it have to be a facade? It doesn't have to be. If like you say that, oh, I'm just pretending to be happy for everyone else, to not worry. Well, why not just embrace it? Why not embrace the change and then actually see that as a new form of happiness? There's so much to everyone who's listening to this and who's probably very pessimistic and going through so much in their lives. Everything we're saying right now seems to be very how do you say this?
Insensitive.
Insensitive and like privileged, you could say. But hey, look, you can say whatever you want to say, but if you're gonna stay in that sense, then there's nothing you can do about it. It's not like we didn't suffer anything. I mean, a month or two ago, my grandmother and my aunt both had COVID at the same time too. VidCon, same time too. So things like that, and we had to pull through. And then there's a lot of things going on, and it's always about, like I said, humanity's capacity and ability to be able to adapt and overcome. That's literally one of the biggest things that separates us from other animals, other mammals in the animal kingdom. So there. With that being said, we hope that you all give yourself the chance to explore, give yourself the privilege to be able to find out what you want to do in the future. Give yourself the chance. This is a transitioning period, and everyone now has the time to be able to find out what you want to do. Don't be too pessimistic. Hopefully, keep your mind open. Give yourself the chance to change things and to work on things as you move on, as things go on, and we genuinely hope for the best for all of you. With that being said, thank you once again for joining us on the second episode of the season 2 of the revamp of APC Speaks podcast. With me again today are Hans, mostly known as Fam, mostly known, I said, but then like also known as Fam, and then we have
I'm not fun though.
what?
I'm not fun.
No, but I'm pointing here in my screen.
You're
Franz.
pointing.
Oh wait, you said friends or
I said friends.
Oh, okay.
Hand.
Yeah, there. Franz here, also known as Fam, and then we have Hans, also known as Hebi. And I am once again your I am once again your host for this podcast.
I was trying to suppress myself to doing that. I was like holding his mic.
You
Should
could
I-
have at least waited for me to finish, but yeah. I am your host again for this podcast, Allen Purto, also known as the Prime Minister of APC Speaks. I'm not letting you guys know what my other artist name is. We're just gonna move on from that. That's gonna be a Easter egg for the future. Thank you for joining us for today, and I hope that you all guys have, all of you have a good day, have a good life. God bless, and stay awesome. Bye bye.